I mean, if I really just wanted to rewatch the first movie, I could have just rewatched the first movie. Alright, moving on to the second movie in the series, I'm reviewing Silent Night, Deadly Night Part 2. This movie is something else. It's really, really silly. So just kind of to tell you how kind of goofy and lazy this movie is, the entirety of the first 40 minutes of it is the brother of the character from the first movies narrating the events of the first movie for the first 40 minutes in a therapy session. I'm not even exaggerating. The first 40 minutes of this movie are a recap of the last movie. And I thought the Rocky movies got bad with that. Besides that, there's just a ton of hilarious inconsistencies with the movie. There's a part where they say that the janitor got shot in the first movie, but it was actually the deaf pastor that got shot in the first movie. Just so many lazy and funny things that could have been avoided, but they just said fuck it and just went full, who cares? So where you kind of understand where Billy is coming from in the first movie, you understand why he's as damaged as he is. Ricky seems like a psychopath to begin with in this movie. He's weird. He has so many strange mannerisms, and he just comes off as kind of a psychopath the entire time to begin with. Doesn't really seem like he gets triggered and just goes off. He's just a weirdo the whole time. And it's just in total opposition to the first movie because really, Billy didn't seem like a bad guy in the first movie. He just seemed like a really damaged and emotionally stunted guy that kind of just got pushed into a really bad place until he did terrible things. And then there's Ricky, who's just a psychopath to begin with. And that goes back to kind of the original too. The funny thing about it is he has so many scenes where he is narrating the original movie where he has flashbacks to things that he either wouldn't have seen or he would have been a baby in the back seat and not remembered or seen anything that happened. So, there's so many different hilarious inconsistencies with this movie that I laugh at them. They're too hilarious. I'd say probably the one too that just made me like absolutely just sigh and just be like, come on, was they go to the movie, Ricky and his girlfriend, and she's like, oh, let's go see this Killer Santa movie. It's footage from the first movie of the guy who killed his parents from the first movie. It shows the part where he goes into the convenience store and shoots the clerk. You really couldn't have shot just even a 10-second scene of just a different Santa guy running around. You really had to reuse footage from the first movie. You guys were down that bad. Something that bothered me too is that I think for most of the movie, this kind of did a little bit better of a job with Ricky wanting to punish people who deserve it. Whereas in the first movie, Billy just, once he goes unhinged, he really doesn't care too much unless it's a kid, and then he's like, are you naughty or nice? And they say nice, and then he just leaves them alone. But for the most part, once he gets unhinged, he kind of just kills aimlessly. It seemed like Ricky was kind of a little bit more targeted in this movie about who he killed, kind of killing people who either bullied him or deserved it. It seemed like it was a little bit more targeted this time, and I thought that was kind of an improvement. And then it reaches the end where he just indiscriminately just kills everybody. Now, with all the nitpicking, I know it seems like I absolutely hate this movie, but believe it or not, I think that this is one of the dumbest but best movies at the same time. It is absolutely terrible. Everything about it is incompetent, terrible, and goofy. I think it's funny. Something about it. It's just so silly. And what you could really break it down to is that Eric Freeman's performance is amazing. Now there's of course the portion where he kind of reverts into the zombie-like punish state, but that doesn't take away though that he injects a lot of personality into this character. He does 100% still give a performance. And what I'd say it really boils down to is that just Eric Freeman, he really commits to the weirdness of this role. He just has really funny line delivery, and just all the dialogue is just absolutely ridiculous, but it's also just, it's the way he delivers it, the way that he portrays this character is very funny.
Oh, you're back. Let's get out of here.
No, I'm beginning to like this picture.
And just super over the top. He plays this character with an energetic and manic personality, and what that results in is a lot of funny mannerisms. He gets way too close to people and just enunciates weird words in a very strange way. Everything is just, I'm gonna squash you like a bug. Garbage Day. Just everything is just, it's so over the top. It's so funny, and that's really what we're here for at the end of the day, because performance is what makes the movie so watchable. And again, this just leads to so many funny moments.
Fuck off, Doc.
And basically all these things that I described, they come to a absolute comedic apex at this cul-de-sac scene. It gets absolutely cartoonish. There is a part in the cul-de-sac scene where a cop is pointing a gun at him, and he turns the gun on him, and the cop shoots himself in the face like it's a Daffy Duck cartoon where he shoots himself in the face and pulls his bill around his head. Like, that's what it reminded me of. It got that goofy. And besides that, there are fun kills, there's good stuff. I particularly enjoyed the umbrella kill, which is I think probably the most creative of the movie. Also the most fun, the best effect. At the end of the day, I think the best part is definitely the cul-de-sac scene. That's just the most entertaining part, and that's what this movie is mostly known for, honestly. So that's one that I always remember and think about. Obviously, Garbage Day has become such an iconic line that's synonymous with this movie. I was also very happy to finally see Mother Superior finally get what she deserved after 2 movies. That was a long time coming, so that was a good thing. But besides that, this is the shittiest of shitty movies, but it's very watchable, especially because of Eric Freeman. I think that he is really what makes this movie. And because of that, it is the guiltiest of guilty pleasures. I'd say skip the first 40 minutes. You really don't need it. It's kind of funny when it dozes in and out of sequences from the first movie, and you just get Eric Freeman being weird in this therapy environment. But the first 40 minutes really is just the first movie condensed into 40 minutes, so it's not really worth watching. But then beyond that, all the new footage I think is comedically incredible, very bad, incompetent in almost every way, but relentlessly watchable. Let me know what you guys think of Silent Night, Deadly Night Part 2. I'm going to be rolling on to the other ones soon, and I'll let you know what I think. Have a good one.